I'm Christian Espinosa. I'm the founder and CEO of Blue Goat Cyber. Our mission is to help medical device manufacturers secure their products and get them to market faster because medical device manufacturers typically wait to the end. When they consider cybersecurity, it causes a lot of delays. So part of the mission is also to educate the industry because I think there's a lot of lack of awareness going on where people don't know what they don't know about cybersecurity. So we're working hard to educate the industry as well. So the issue my company is solving is really threefold, I would say. One is helping innovators figure out how to add cybersecurity early on in their product. A lot of people wait to the very end. So part of that education I was talking about is so we design cybersecurity into the product from the beginning rather than try to bolt it on at the end, which is what's kind of happening, which is very ineffective. So that's part of it. The second part is helping a innovator with the pre-market submission. So for the FDA, as example, there's like 18 things that have to be done, and we can do all those or some of them depending on where the manufacturer is. We meet them where they are. And that includes testing, threat model, risk analysis, labeling. There's a bunch of different things that they often don't know how to do. We can do those very effectively. And the third component is after the device is on the market, there is post-market management required. So the cybersecurity is not just like one and done. It's even when it's on the market, we have to make sure the device doesn't have a new vulnerability. If it does, how do we address it? How do we patch it? How do we fix it? How do we triage it? How do we identify as a false positive or a true positive? And all of that. We help with all that as well. This issue is extremely important because if we ignore cybersecurity, especially with Medtech, we can injure a patient or kill a patient. Like as an example, a little bit older example, but Dick Cheney had the wireless functionality of his defibrillator disabled because there was a legitimate threat where somebody could wirelessly connect to his defibrillator and shock him to death. So the risk is super high with medical devices. If I can cause a misdiagnosis and somebody has sepsis, they could possibly die. If I hack into a surgical robot, it's performing surgery on somebody's back, we could paralyze that patient. So the risk is super high. And it's not just about like losing data like HIPAA, like your health information. It's about patient safety. It's a very critical issue. As most of us have heard, there's a data breach at a hospital pretty much every day. And just when we think there can't possibly be a bigger data breach, there's a bigger one. This idea that a hospital environment is secure is false. We consider hospital environments hostile. So if I put a device like a medical device on a hospital environment, we assume that device is going to be pounded over and over and over with attackers trying to break into it, because the likelihood of a threat actor being on a hospital environment is super high. That's why there's so many data breaches. The odds are against the people defending the network. We have to get 100 things right, lock all 100 doors. The attackers only have to find one unlocked or one vulnerability. So it's like this impossible scenario to make something bulletproof from a threat actor. So we have to do the best we can do to reduce the risk and assume from a medical device perspective that it's going to be attacked millions of times per second when it's put on an environment. As an example, a little bit different, but I've stood up servers on Amazon website, their web services platform, and within like 30 seconds, it's been scanned 1,000 times, over 1,000 times. These are people, not people, but systems on behalf of people actively probing for vulnerability. And this is what that landscape looks like. And most people don't understand that because it's digital. We don't see it. It's like somebody walking through a parking lot super fast, checking every single car door for one unlocked. They find one unlocked, they get in and drive it away. It's like that times 1,000, really. For an early stage company, we like to work with them early on with some consulting. Simply an hour here with a Zoom session, an hour like a week later, and kind of find out where they are and meet them where they are on their journey and find out the best way we can work with them to help them with cybersecurity early on. That's very cost effective because they're just buying, 5 to 10 hours of our time, maybe a little bit more. But that's with the early startup, If the requirements phase really is where we want to work with them, because most startups are concerned with what I call the functional requirements. These are requirements that can make the product work as intended, but the cybersecurity requirements are non-functional requirements, and they often don't think about those. So the idea is to have some consulting with them early to get them to start thinking about those non-functional requirements. With investors, ideally before they make an acquisition, they speak with us and we help them evaluate the company that they're about to acquire or invest in by looking at what they've done for cybersecurity. So we can really help the investors increase their ROI, the return on investment, and de-risk their portfolio. Even if they've acquired a company or already invested in a company, we can go help that company as well. I'm an investor myself, and I know it's super frustrating to lose money on investments. So if there's a way to help the investors increase their return on the investment, we want to help them. And we feel like cybersecurity is an overlooked thing that costs a lot and definitely decreases that ROI, and we can help increase that. So our clients are made up of about 40% international, European, Israel, Middle East, Asia, Canada, and then the rest 60% are in the United States. What sets my company apart is a number of things. The first thing is we've been doing this for 10 years. So I had a cybersecurity company I started in 2014. We did Medtech cybersecurity then. It wasn't the only thing we did. I sold that company in 2020 to a publicly traded company. And then while I was working for that company, I developed 6 blood clots in my left leg. And thanks to a medical device and a friend that told me to go to the hospital, I'm still here. So I often think, what if that medical device was compromised or recalled? Then I may not have got a diagnosis, I may not be here. So that gave me, after I recovered from the clots and like the depression, because I went from being an Ironman athlete and traveling to being told I couldn't do any of that stuff. So after I recovered from that, I decided maybe this is the universe telling me to start a company and focus purely on medtech cybersecurity. And that's what I did. So that's one of the main reasons Blue Goat Cyber is different. And that 10 years of experience, like I mentioned, since 2014 to today, that's a lot of experience that other companies don't have. And on top of that, we have a 100% success rate. So any submission we've done with the FDA, MDR, doesn't matter which regulatory authority, we have not received a deficiency response because we know what they're looking for. And we offer a guarantee. We partner with our client through the entire process. We're there until the device gets cleared. If there's any questions from the FDA, any additional information requests, we help them address that as well. We become their partner through the whole process. And I am very passionate about helping entrepreneurs bring their product to the market because I'm an entrepreneur myself and I know how hard the journey is as well. Some exciting developments in the industry as a whole are AI. AI, we started to see a lot more AI-enabled software as a medical device, or SAMDs. A lot of it doing image enhancement, where it takes an ultrasound or an MRI, runs it through an AI algorithm, and enhances the image for whatever the purpose of the diagnosis is. We see a lot of that, and then within my company, what we're doing is we're adding a couple services that help our clients, help facilitate communication with the clients. We're going to have a collaboration portal, which makes it easier to generate the documentation required for the FDA or EU MDR. And then we're also going to have a post-market management portal, which makes it easier to manage the product and the post-market as well. Any client we worked with, we've done what we call the full cybersecurity package. We've done all the deliverables ourselves. We have not received a deficiency from the FDA. So the cybersecurity portion got cleared the very first time through the submission process, which typically does not happen. That's where the 100% success rate comes through. My goal in 2025 is to become the market leader in medtech cybersecurity. That is one of our milestones. And it's not just becoming the market leader, it's helping as many startups' ideas become reality by preventing them from having costly overruns because they did not think about cybersecurity early on. And that's why it's not just about selling a cybersecurity service, it's really about uplifting the industry as a whole through that education and awareness.